Hello everyone. For this week's topic, I have chosen to talk about the limits people put on themselves and how they break through those limits physically. So, to get to specifics, I'm talking about I am intrigued by how the human body has incredible ways that it can push itself beyond what we as people often see as impossible or superhuman, essentially. And this topic is important to me because, or well, as a writer and researcher, because I've always been curious about the potential that humans have and what holds us back and how we can overcome those certain barriers. Within this topic, I decided to investigate the issue of self-imposed physical limits. So, why we often stop ourselves from achieving more than we know we can, or that we think we can do, and would drive some people to push beyond those limits and boundaries. I also considered other things like mental limits or how technology can enhance physical performance, but I wanted to focus on the psychological and physiological factors behind physical breakthroughs. Now, for my guiding question, it is: to what extent do psychological barriers influence physical performance, and how do people overcome these barriers to surpass their limits? Now, this question is definitely open, since there is no perfect formula or single answer to it, and with the relationship between the mind and body, especially within limits or limitations, it is complex and it varies from person to person. It could be different for me or different for someone else, and different studies approach it from physiological, psychological, and even cultural perspectives. So there is a lot of room for exploration. Now, reflecting on the Bigfoot activity and the cranking uncle game, I realized how important it is to critically evaluate your own sources, and especially when dealing with topics that could have misinformation, or even biased perspectives. And the exercises that I did definitely helped me look beyond to see whether or not a source is believable. And it helped me realize that I need to start fact-checking evidence, credibility, author qualifications, or if there's any emotional or personal ties towards it. And I plan to apply these takeaways by carefully examining sources that I use in my research for human limits. And I want to make sure that I'm relying on scientific studies which are credible and that have no forms of personal insight or personal values. Altogether, I'm just excited to dive into this research, and I'm excited to see what I can learn about the boundaries we set for ourselves and how we break through them. Thank you.